youngsters get out and then they have to have an experience before they realize I should have checked in.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Or I should have called, or I should have been moving a certain way. And so they get out and they might be under your banner, but then they not respecting the banner. They ain't calling you. They got your number. Mm-hmm. They know who you is, but they feel like they bigger than the program. You know, and you got a lot of dudes, like when I was here last time, that claim my neighborhood that's in this with us until it's a problem. Then they call him. Like Quando Rondo. I just showed Envy. Like, you can't call me now. You can't call me when the fire hot.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't fuck with me before that. You know what I mean? You had my number. You could have called me. You could have did all that. You know what I mean? But he was around about. But how that's
exactly what I said.
Yeah.
There ain't no sugar coated. Ain't no nothing in. It ain't not one human being that's not gonna check in. Let me give you on a bigger scale. The United States of America and all these countries have what is called airspace.
Yeah.
If you invade their airspace with a plane, they consider that an act of war. If you want to come in their airspace, you're gonna check in. You can choose not to, and it's gonna be a problem. If dudes come and you move it in a certain way, if you choose not to check in, you suffer the consequences. You feel like you got something that's bigger than what is there. And that just, because I do it, it's foreign to me to hear people speak how they are.
What up? This is Rapids. And so in this clip, we saw Big U basically admitting that what happened to Quando Rondo was a result of him not checking in. And I'm looking at that clip as if that was an issued warning to other rappers. What will happen if you don't check in? So it's more of a warning, you know, it's a warning statement the way he's talking. It's like, is it really optional to check in? Is what he's kind of insinuating, you know, like it's at your own risk if you don't check in with Big U. Big U basically saying when you touch down, if you're any type of high profile celebrity, rapper, basketball player, any type of athlete or anything like that, it seems like mostly if you're in the black community though, it's like, cause why do people from the black community got to check in? Like that doesn't even make sense. Cause if it was any like a country artist or any other culture, would they have to check in too? I doubt not. So why are we going at each other like this to where, you know, you got to check in just cause of the, you know, your skin? It's like, what is this? He's calling it like a no-fly zone. Like, okay, so this is our territory and you're going to check in and pay some dues if you touch down just because you're a rapper. That makes no sense. I mean, what type of stuff is that to where we're doing this to ourselves, you know? But yeah, the way he's talking, it gets worse because this Quando Rondo thing that he was warning about, he would have been good if he would have just simply checked in. And it's too late to call now. He's saying, well, this is all connected to the Durk case. This is what Wack been trying to tell everybody, is that it looks like Bricc Baby in the 60s or whoever, somebody in that circle might be connected to dropping the low on Quando Rondo. And then they're saying Durk got the word that Quando was roaming around LA and they knew where to catch him. You know what I'm saying? Spot him, got him type stuff. So if this ends up all coming out during the trial, well, it would have to come out before the trial. So far, there hasn't been no clear paperwork that this is related in any way with the Big U and the Rolling 60s getting jammed up. But, you know, with superseding indictments, they can really throw that on the case whenever they feel fit. So this might be a strategic move. They might be waiting closer to the Durk trial to throw this in there, and then Durk's gonna have to delay. You know what I'm saying? That's what they did with Diddy. It's like he just got hit with 2 or 3 new charges right before trials about to come up in a couple months. So now they might have to delay just so they can review this new stuff coming out. So they, you know, that might be a tactic they're gonna use where this might all get tied in with big Lil Durk, because Bricc Baby was already suspected of being involved as the one who dropped the low on Quando Rondo when, you know what I'm saying, he was roaming through the streets because I guess they were mad at Quando for not checking in, and he's supposed to be with the same crew, I believe, because Quando's actually from Atlanta, but he was down with the Rolling 60s from what I understand. So they basically were saying, you know, how you gonna just show up and pay a visit to California and not check in? So yeah, they wanted him to basically pay dues. So checking in it's a form of extortion, you know, because they want you to come to their city and then visit Big U or his people and drop a bag off. It ain't what, you safe? Because I'm sure they can pay for their own security. You know what I'm saying? So why do we have to pay the Rolling 60s with Big U or anybody like that when, you know what I'm saying, you visiting California? I wonder if Chief Keef had to check in with anyone for being down in California. But, you know what I'm saying, that's basically like you got to pay them what, the whole, you know, just to be down there. That's crazy. But somebody, it's looking like from that crew might have dropped a low on Durk. And if this starts coming out, this is not going to be good for Durk because they already said Bricc Baby was wiretapped. There's some real suspicious stuff going on with Bricc Baby. And, you know what I'm saying, they have his girl saying some stuff, some crazy stuff about how he was wiretapped. It's almost like his girl could have been setting him up the way it looks. But Bricc Baby, yeah, he thought he was going to get out. I'm going to cover that in another video, so stay tuned. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe because we got some more information for you about Bricc Baby and Loose Cannon and them. Because, look, it's not looking too good for them. They thought they was going to get bailed out, but it was denied. And I have some suspicions about that whole thing, about how they got denied and how they thought they was really getting out, and they found out that they got to sit down for a while. And Bricc Baby even said he talked to Durk in there through the walls or something, through the vents or something, you know. Durk in there, I know he's just, man. And it's like if Bricc Baby was wired this whole time, it's like they're going to have the whole call when they drop the location. Whoever dropped the location on Durk, some people like Wack 100 was suspecting it could have been Bricc Baby that dropped the low. And that's also there's suspicions that that's why he got arrested. And they took him in and they're saying he cooperated. You know, the word is that he allegedly cooperated and then got released because he told on Durk. And then he had a comment about Durk. I have clips on that in my previous videos where he was talking about how, yeah, ain't nobody could say slide for Vaughn no more to Durk because they slid, you know, he's saying. And this was before Durk got arrested. 6ix9ine recently just took credit for the slide for Vaughn for getting Durk to slide. And he said he tricked him off the streets. So, yeah, Bricc Baby, though, that was a very incriminating moment for him to be talking on that street business like that. So he was on a podcast literally saying, can't nobody say Durk, slide for Durk. Durk can't slide no more. Ain't nobody can say that no more, he's saying. And then I think that was with academics or something. He was like, what you mean by that? He said, can't nobody say slide for Vaughn no more. You know what I'm saying? And nobody can say that to Durk no more. And then because what happened with Quando Rondo is what he was insinuating. So he acknowledged that. I guess the street, that shows that the streets, and specifically them with the 60s and Bricc Baby and them, he specifically acknowledged of what happened with the what they're saying Durk and OTF did to Quando Rondo and Little Pop. So this is getting messy because is this all connected to Big U in a way? Because if Bricc Baby has been wiretapped this whole time, and it's not even clear if he was knowingly wiretapped, he probably wasn't knowingly wiretapped, and how they did it actually it's almost like his house was bugged or something for them to have the information that was coming out about Bricc Baby. It's almost like he didn't even know he was wiretapped, and that means they must have like bugged his house or something, because he was talking real reckless one time, and you know he got arrested after that. So Bricc Baby, though, he wasn't safe to talk to. And if Bricc Baby dropped the location on Quando, that's all gonna be coming out. And of course, it looks like they might want to cut a deal with him. They'll probably, you know, if let's say it was Bricc Baby that gave the location on Quando and talked to OTF and told them where he's gonna be at, so pull up. Well, if let's say it's Bricc Baby that did that, well, it's like I think the feds would cut a deal with him, but it wouldn't be that sweet. It's gonna be a deal, but it's not gonna be like get out of jail free card or nothing. I would think that they would threaten him with a significant amount of jail time unless he talks. If he talks, they'll probably drop it down to something more reasonable. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, he's gonna be sitting down for like 30 years or something. You know, or even more. I think what they would offer him is like they probably cut it down like 10 or 15. Because a lot of times when you cooperate, people got that misconstrued where they think that that's a get out of jail free card. No, it's not always that. Sometimes they just gonna give you a sweet deal if you start talking. And I think that's what they're gonna offer whoever dropped the low, you know what I'm saying, for OTF to come down there and run it up on Quando and Lil Pop. And they even got the wrong guy. That's crazy. All that, and they got the wrong guy. And Durk was talking about if you can't get the main guy, at least get his mans and his songs and stuff. Like, it's crazy. And then Durk had that song with Quando screaming from that incident. It's not looking good for Durk. It's not looking good for Durk. I mean, you know what I'm saying? When did he know? Like, what knowledge did he know? If they moved on their own, or was Durk actually involved? They're gonna have to prove all that. That's the thing. But it looks like there's people cooperating now with the Rolling 60s and Bricc Baby and Big U and Loose Cannon all getting jammed up like this. It all could end up leading to whoever dropped the location on Durk, and we're gonna have to stay tuned and see what comes of this, because it's not looking good, and it's possibly connected, because we're seeing Big U specifically mention Quando Rondo and what happened to him. See what happens if you don't check in. He's saying, so this is all connected, because he was talking real reckless on these interviews. Big U, you know what I'm saying? He's out here actually saying stuff like that, and people can take that a certain way. You know what I'm saying? You saying some stuff like that. I'm saying it sounds like a threat. It sounds like a warning. Anything like that, it sounds like, you know, because what you mean, like, see what happens if you don't check in. You see what happened to Quando Rondo and them. You know what I'm saying? It's too late now, he's saying. Yeah, that's like you boasting about, like, was he involved? It sounds like, you know what I'm saying? That's self-snitching, like, straight up. Like, they telling on themselves out here, like, what the heck? Like, what's really going on, man? But anyway, look, I'm gonna have some more information for you. So make sure you, like I said, subscribe and hit that like button, because we're gonna be talking about some stuff about Bricc Baby and Loose Cannon that we gotta get to. And let's get over 100 likes on this video. Make sure you subscribe. And let me see. Check the description box for links and all that. I'm out.